y'all already know what time it is. It's story time. Go ahead and sit back, relax, grab your little snacks, and tune in for this tea. Don't forget to like the video before we get into it, okay? Like the video, leave anything in the comments, leave a chicken. Make sure you are subscribed so you get me notified when I post. And my social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter is in the description, okay? Follow me there. Follow me there because we're going up in a few weeks. You're going to want to be there. You're going to want to be there. I'm going to get right up into the story, but before I do, happy Halloween. It's Halloween. So, yeah, I had to give y'all story time today in my little costume. I'm a police officer. Oh, that hurt because I feel like it's fitting. Because I feel like I should have called the police in this situation. So yeah, I was gonna be Isis. Is it Isis? Yeah, from Bring It On at first, but I'm like, no, you know what? I got a police outfit. I'm gonna be 12 today. Also, it's 8 o'clock at night and I'm recording in a dark room just in case anything look funny. So yeah, let's just get into it. Enough disclaimers. Now, what I did want to say about this story time is that for the longest time, I let the Dre story times, like, I stopped telling them because y'all was acting absolutely insane. Like, the lengths y'all was going to find him and figure out who he was crazy. And I never addressed it because I feel like that's just gonna give the trolls a green light to keep doing what they doing when I talk about it. So I never said nothing about it, but I was like, you know what, yeah, I'm just about to stop this for now. So now I'm gonna go ahead. Hopefully them trolls done went on with their life and about their business and found them something safe to do because it was just ridiculous. I know everybody don't know everything, but let me just give y'all a quick rundown, right? All right, so the house that we lived in that got pew-pewed up, that was in Brenham. Then after that situation, we moved under the same man because we was renting a room in a house. So we had a bunch of roommates. We moved out of that city to College Station. Under the same man, we moved in with his daughter and her boyfriend. That's Amanda and Jonah. So after we got kicked out of there, I got us kicked out. I mean, it was already rocky for a long time, but I feel like what I did was it just took it over the top. Like, just go watch the story time. I'm gonna link the story times. So when we got kicked out of there, we ended up finding a place. We ended up subleasing under my ex, Dre friend. And when I say me, I'm talking about me and my ex, in case you didn't know. So yeah, we ended up subleasing under his friend, like, lease at an apartment. It was like student living, and they found out and we ended up getting kicked out, long story short, and we had to go find a place, right? So we searching for apartments. We finally find a place that Dre used to, like, not work at because he was like he worked for a landscaping company and he used to go cut grass over there. So yeah, we found an apartment, and initially it was senior living and they was just converting it from senior living to rent restricted housing, like apartments basically. So rent restricted, you have to like make a certain amount or under a certain amount to qualify, depending on like your household size. When we mentioned that to her, I don't know if we mentioned it to her or what, but basically she said, if you put your name, talking to me, if I put my name on a lease and then just like claim him like I'm claiming my daughter type thing, like he was my son, like, it would be different. They would only run my credit. They wouldn't need to run both of our credits, but we would both still sign a lease. It was something weird. It was a little bit junky. So yeah, that's what happened. And I remember when we went to go walk it, and mind you, this lady, she gonna come back up, the lady that showed us our apartment and stuff, because mind you, she not only worked there, she lived like in the next building from us. So yeah, we went to go walk the apartment, and mind you, while on the walkthrough, everything always seemed and looked perfect. But I'm talking about nothing seemed wrong, and when I inspect. So she was like, you don't seem happy, aren't you excited, like you're moving into a new place, it's a new chapter in life, da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get excited once we get approved and I have the keys in my hand and da-da-da. And she was like, oh, okay, girl, well, get excited, you're not excited enough. What should I call her? I'm gonna name her Becca. But she gonna come back up, not in this story time though. So yeah, I'm gonna name her Becca. Mind you, Becca is black. Maybe like 2 days later, after we walked the apartment and stuff, I get a call from Becca. And she was like, hey, this is Becca from whatever apartments. I'm just calling to let you know, like, you didn't pass the credit check and you weren't approved for the apartment. I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And she was like, girl, I'm just kidding. You're approved. Oh my God, you got it. Oh my God. Becca, this ain't the time. When I tell you move, we had nothing. We had gotten kicked out, and just like, we was just everywhere. We was depressed. We thought we was gonna have to move back home with our people. Fast forward, we moved and everything like that. I'm telling you, I was in bliss for like 1 day, probably not even 24 hours. When out of nowhere, here come all the roaches. Not even roaches, water bugs. It was a mix between the roaches and the water bugs. I'm talking about the ones that fly, the ones that are big, like the ones that ain't scared. They don't run when the lights go off. I'm like, where was all these roaches when we did the walkthrough for 20 minutes? Like, we was literally living in a roach motel. Then, out of nowhere, like 2 days after we moved in, this foul stench, like, invaded the vents, and it would come and go. So sometimes you could smell it, sometimes you couldn't. I'm telling you, when I tell you it smelled like an unalive body up in there for like 6 hours a day, every other day, I could not take it. I don't know what that was. So I ended up stuffing the vents with like them dryer sheets and all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm talking about just anything that could go in the vents. I put car stuff in the vents everywhere. This moving into this apartment was like the beginning of the end for us. Everything is gonna go downhill so fast for us. Mind you, we just moved in, no furniture. We sleeping on an air mattress. I'm telling you, it was so easy for the roaches to get to us. I'm talking about roaches crawling on us in our sleep on the air mattress. Like, I was in hell. And if you know, if you've been here, then you know somebody has given me bed bugs and fleas. 2 different people on 2 different occasions. So I'm real jumpy when it comes to like infestations, okay? Because both of them things are hard to get rid of. And the fact that this apartment complex, like the roaches was in the walls. It wasn't just our place. A simple roach bomb or some roach traps was not going to suffice. They need to knock that whole fucker down, okay? And start from the ground up. Like, it was bad. So we was doing everything. Nothing was working. Eventually, we just learned to live with them. That was our homies at one point. But I'm talking about, it was so bad to the point where you cannot leave food on the counter. The roaches, we would get roaches in the fridge. Dead roaches in the fridge, in the freezer, crawling in the bed, in our drawers, on the TV while we watching TV at night. Like, I was very antsy. And I would just tell Dre, like, I can't do this. Like, you know how I am about this kind of stuff. Like, in an infestation, like one occasional roach, okay, cool. But like, to know that they're never ending, I can't take it. So he just be like, man, just kill it when you see it. It's always something with you. You always dragging and da-da-da-da-da. You better kill it when you see it or leave. Like, you could just leave. There you go. I was waiting for that because he was always trying to kick me out. Like, sir, where I'm gonna go, Scoob? My name on the lease. You can leave. So let's get to the real issue at hand. Now, I worked at Lowe's at the time. Dre worked at the landscaping company, and he had his side hustle as the local tree man, right? I did just sit back and let him lead because he's the man, and I sacrificed a lot, including my happiness, just to keep him happy. So, oh, y'all, I keep biting the side of my cheek. I feel like I bit it once in it, and I just keep biting it, and it hurts. So yeah, at one point I was accepting and listening to everything that he told me because he really like beat it into my head that if I wanted to be in a real relationship and be a real power couple, that would require both of us putting in 50-50 like percent of the effort, which would be like 50% effort, finances, everything, right? When he said we got to split all the bills 50-50, then okay, cool. Even though I only worked like 5 or 6 hours a day and he worked a cool 8-hour, and he was a local treatment on the side, it wasn't equal, but we still paid the income wasn't equal, but we still split the bills equal, if that makes sense. And not remind you, because a lot of y'all probably don't know, but this is the apartment where Dre decided that he wanted to grow tree inside of an apartment complex. So we actually got approved for a 2-bedroom. Tell me why this man spent $5,000 on a grow tent, a tree grow tent. He had every single thing that you would need in a real grow house in a room. I didn't agree with it, but I'm like, this is my man. I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm gonna help him so he don't be like, oh, you not supporting my dreams and stuff like that. Cause I don't know, he had dreams of being El Chapo of the tree land. This is what's finna pop it off. Now our work schedules clashed for like the first 2 weeks of me working at Lowe's, right? So he worked an hour away and he got off at 5 p.m., not a.m. And I got to be to work at 6 p.m. So if you're working an hour away, get off at 5, you're going to get home at 6 p.m. And I'm going to always be late. So that's how it was for the first 2 weeks. And I'm telling him, like, listen, HR is on my butt. Like, I don't know. I can't keep being late every day. It don't matter if it's just like 5 or 10 minutes. Like, they telling me I cannot be late. I need to be here before the time, da 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 da. So I'm telling him every day. He like, all right, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see if I can change my schedule, da da da. Me, I just got the job. I'm not trying to risk the job with complaining like, hey, can I get a different schedule? Like, this isn't working out. And honestly, there was no other schedule for me. I couldn't work overnight because that was filled. He worked during the day, so I could only have that middle schedule of 6 to 12. That's the only thing that worked for us. And he was like, listen, I can't do nothing about it. Like, the most I can do is get off at 4 sometimes, but you're gonna have to ask for a different schedule. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just suck it up. So anyway, I ain't gonna say that. I went to my job and I told them, I made up some lie. I forgot what lie I told them, but I had a pack of lies for every job and a pack of excuses. So I went and I told them, and they was like, all right, the best we can do is give you 7 to 12 or 7 to 1, whichever one you want. And there was like, you can take 7 to 12, but if you want to get off at 1, you can do that. You don't have to commit to 1. So I'm like, okay, that's better. So, but they was like, that's not going to take effect for like at least another 2 days. So for these next few days, still come in for your 6 to 12. I go to him and I'm like, all right, I did my part. Now, can you go to your job and ask them if you can get off at 4 so I can actually make the work on time? So he was like, all right, his job, okay, the 4 o'clock, like, let go, right? So mind you, we're sharing a car. And even if we wasn't sharing a car, you're probably thinking like, girl, why didn't you just Uber? I'm sorry, I'm talking fast because I'm trying to get through this quick. I couldn't Uber because I would watch my daughter while he was at work. It was like we would switch shifts, you know, and then he would get off and then he would watch her while I go to work. Then I come home and he go to work. It was like that, right? So on this day, he get off at 4. He come home at 5. I'm like, all right, cool, bet this is happening. So I'm getting ready for work. And I remember complaining about that smell because that foul stench, it was terrible. I can still smell it to this day. So he was like, man, stop complaining about it. I don't want to hear that shit. If you gonna complain about it this much, then like, you want to break the lease? You want to be homeless? You want to go back home? Just talking all this mess. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get over it. Like, let me stop complaining because he obviously sick of hearing it and he don't plan on like telling the office or not, because I could have told the office. I mean, there's nothing we could have did about it, right? How can I help you, baby?
You said you were getting ready for bed.
Huh?
You said you were getting ready for bed.
Not you listening hard.
What did you say?
What you want, baby?
Just to give you
Thank you, Poopy. I guess he seen me still getting ready for work, so he was like, yeah, let me go hit these few stains right quick and I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna go up the street because, you know, he gotta serve some people. So I'm thinking he literally about to go up the street for like 5-10 minutes and then come right back because he know I gotta be to work at 6 o'clock, right? Tell me why this boy come back at like literally 5:57. So he come back in, toss me the keys like shit sweet, and like I'm supposed to just be like, oh, okay, bye, you know, whatever. And I could have did that. I would have been late for work, but I'm like, nah, I can't keep doing this because you don't take nothing I say and you don't take me serious. You know what I'm saying? So I said something like, if you want me to have my half of the rent, why you keep risking my job? Like, I told you HR on my ass and I asked you to do this one thing, you couldn't even do it. This nigga was like, man, I got off at 4 o'clock for you and da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you defeated the purpose when you came home, ripped and ran for like a whole hour and I'm still about to be late for work. And he was like, man, that little funky ass job ain't doing shit for the rent. You barely be having it and your ass be late with it and blah, blah, blah. One time I was late with the rent because I had got paid the literal day after rent was due. So I was like, do you mind if I give you my check tomorrow when I get paid? And he was like, man, where your money at? Da-da-da, whatever. Like he had this big ass issue with it. Like, I ain't got it. Like, I ain't supposed to be paying your half for the rent. We're going 50-50, blah, blah, blah. So he made a big deal of it and never ever let it go. But we was very much living paycheck to paycheck. I know at least I was, because I was barely making anything working at Lowe's for 5 to 6 hours a day. Yeah. So, and then okay. So we started getting into it. And I can't admit, I ain't know when to stop sometimes. Like, sometimes I just keep going and going. I ain't know when to shut the fuck up. I can admit that. I remember him saying something like, man, take them keys and go far. Make your ass walk home. You lucky we got somewhere to live. Like, mind you, we wasn't even talking about like, no, yeah, we was. I'm lying. I was about to say, we wasn't even talking about the rent no more, but I think we still was. We was on both situations. And he was like, take them keys and leave before I make your ass walk to work. Because you lucky that I even found us somewhere to go. Because if shit was dependent on you, we'd still be looking and probably homeless. And I'm like, you lucky that I'm responsible and got good credit. Because if we was dependent on your credit, we would definitely be homeless. So yeah, we getting into it and we just throwing them like little personal jabs. So yeah, he was like, you don't support my dreams, bro. You holding me back. I can't keep doing this. You holding me back. And I'm like, your dreams of what? Your dreams of being El Chapo? That's not a dream. You trying to be some kind of drug lord? That's not a dream. It's not a realistic one, at least not for you. So, and mind you, all this stuff been building up. We like low jabbing each other. And I was like, you can leave. You can leave then. Because this is my apartment. It's in my name. And he was like, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. You would have never found this place and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck you in this funk ass, roach infested ass apartment. Fuck you, this shit ain't nothing. You act like we living lavish and da 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 da. So while he's saying that, he kind of like pushing, he doing like this, like pushing my head back. Y'all know how Ghost pushed Tasha wig back? Yeah, when he nudged her in the head, yeah, he was doing that to me. And he was like, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me, da 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 da. And then he was like, how you walking since you want to be ungrateful? And he was trying to take the keys. I'm like, you're not taking these fucking keys. I'm not walking to work. I'm not walking to work. He ended up getting the keys from me. So I'm like, give me the fucking keys. I gotta go to work. And then we just going back and forth. Oh, now you care about going to work. You ain't care. You should have been had your ass on the road. And you want to start all this drama. Da 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 da. Walk to work. We hitting personal low blows. I remember some of it, but when I get mad like that, I black out. But I do remember some of it, and I remember what made him put his like forehead to my forehead, like he was about to like headbutt me, but he's like pushing me with his head, and he's like, bitch, don't make me fucking hit you. Don't make me fucking hit you. And I could tell that he had like smoked. Not that like that's any reason, but because he was always on cloud nine. But I'm like, I just remember the smell of his breath, like, you know, when after you smoke a lot of times your breath stink. And he just like all in my face, forehead on forehead. And I'm thinking like he gonna headbutt me or whatever. I don't know. Mind you, our daughter is on the couch. Just, I don't even know. I don't even think she was crying at this point, but we was yelling very, very loud. It was just a lot going on, and that's my biggest regret is doing stuff. I mean, mind you, she wasn't one, but still, I still wish I didn't do that kind of stuff around her, because you don't know what kind of trauma get embedded in the kids. That's like one of my biggest regrets. At one point, I'm like, I'm just about to leave, whatever, because I can't, like, I admit I had let my emotions get the better of me when I needed to get something off my chest, but I'm like, this is about to go too far. I can already see into the future. I can already foresee how this is about to go. So I'm like, whatever, I'm about to stop. But at the same time, Dre is not a confrontational person, but once you pull him out of character, he get way out of character. And it's no, like, ending it. Like, he will never stop. I'm telling you, he turned into a different human being when he get mad. When he get that type of mad, it's like his like inner demon come out, and he be trying to antagonize me and bring my inner demon out. I'm talking about, we yelling so loud, my ears ringing. I can feel my face vibrating. I don't know, like, we crossed them lines. We crossed them, your mama, your family, I hate you, and all them. We crossed them lines. He said some crazy personal shit, and I just started throwing stuff. Now, the remote, I did aim it at him. I aimed the remote at him. I missed. Then after the remote, I wasn't necessarily aiming like to throw stuff at him, but I was just throwing everything. I was just trying to mess stuff up. Okay, I'm throwing ashtrays. I'm breaking this. I broke a few things. Like, so then he started throwing stuff back. But everything, like literally every single thing that he's throwing, he's aiming it at me. So he threw something. I don't know. I don't remember what he threw at me, but I know that it hit me in the head hard. Hurt my girl. I've seen stars. Okay, I ain't never been hit that damn well. I have, but you know that type of hit, you be literally seeing birds and stars. So I got hit in the head, and that, I feel like that's what made me black out. Like, that was the straw. It sent me over the edge. I started pulling his hair, but he immediately like went into some defense, and he picked me up by my shoulders, and then he like did a combination of throwing me and slamming me. I'm talking about with all his might on the floor. And it was so fast. Like, it was so fast, but it was so slow. I really felt myself in the air and then getting slammed like as hard as possible. I'm telling you, it shook the whole apartment. I mean, that's when I tell you it sounded like a bomb went off, like my body dropping to the floor that hard and fast. It hurt so bad. So y'all, when I'm telling you, I let out a true blood curdling scream. Then after I screamed, I hear my baby scream. I'm talking about to the top of her little lungs. I don't know how I found the strength to get right up from that. It had to be adrenaline or something, because when I heard her scream, I got up dizzy. I'm disoriented. Like, I didn't know what was going on, but I just went over to the couch. She crying. I hurry up. I picked her up and I go up into the room. And I'm just crying so hard, because I'm like, he not going to see me cry. And I also, even though I screamed like that, he knew like dang. But I feel like when he seen me get up, he probably thought I was okay. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not finna act like he really did something with that, even though he could have broke my goddamn back. Like, I feel like that's how hard I hit the floor. So I hurry up, y'all. I don't even know how I could stand up. I'm barely standing up when I got in the room. I'm dizzy, stumbling. I sit my baby on the bed and I'm crying so freaking hard, and he's still up in there talking shit. I'm like, shut the up, I fucking hate you. I couldn't even breathe, y'all. I'm like, I'm trying to yell, but I'm gasping for air in between. And I feel like he slapped me so hard, I really need to go to the hospital after that. Like, girl, we still going back and forth when I'm in the room. And I'm peeking out the door and he talking mess. And y'all know, because somebody else used to hit me. And one thing dudes do that is just like so corny to me, it's like after they hit you, they start like imitating what they did. Like what they did was just so cool. Or they start doing like little boxing moves, like they just beat you up and ooh, yeah, like I don't know. It's just so corny, but if you know, you know. I'm trying to think how to explain this so like people who don't know what I'm talking about get what I mean. So say after a dude hits you, they start whether it's an accident or not, they start doing these like little boxing moves like yeah, I did that. Boom. Like, you know, he was doing that. And I'm like, not him really imitating the fact that he just body slammed me on this hard ass floor and shook the whole apartment. Not him really thinking it was a joke. Like, I just could not believe it. I'm like, yo, lame as fuck, you corny ass nigga. Get the fuck out. Why won't you just leave? So we both telling each other get out. Mind you, neither one of us is getting out. So I just go back in the room and I close the door and I'm just hugging and kissing my baby. I'm patting her back, trying to calm her down because she's still crying. Mind you, I'm still crying. He's still talking mess. And at this point, I feel like he was like right by the door. And I'm like I'm not going back and forth no more. Tatiana, just shut up. Just be quiet. Just shut up. No more going back and forth. Aren't you tired of screaming? Girl, you can't even breathe. Like I'm just fighting for my life in my head. Then I remember I'm supposed to be at work right now. Like if I was at work right now, nothing would have happened. So I feel like every time something like very traumatic happened, I always like recount the situation and like, dang girl, if you would have just left, if you would have just ate it, what's one more thing to eat? Just swallow it and you just would have left. None of this would have happened. Like this all happened because of this, and that, and da-da-da, whatever. I used to really blame myself, honestly. If I feel like I started it or if I feel like, you know, I initiated the argument or whatever. So I'm like, dang, I'm supposed to be at work. I still need to go to work because I don't want to make things worse by losing my job, getting fired. Then I'm going to be even more dependent on him. And I'm not even going to talk about my home and why I was hell bent on not going back. But I'm like, at least if I have a job, it'll be easier for me to leave. At this time, I was not in my right mind. Don't give Lil T too much because I didn't think straight. Okay, I was young. So I was like, I need to go to work. On one hand, I wanted to go to work, but on the other hand, I'm like, I don't even want to leave my baby with him. Mind you, it's our daughter. I know I keep saying my baby. I don't even want to leave our daughter with him because of what he just did to me. But on the other hand, I'm like, he would never hurt her like that. I know he wouldn't. I just knew that we could not sit in this house together. We could not be around each other. So I'm like, if I go to work, at least I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna get out the house for the duration of my shift. So I'm like, if I don't leave, this is how snap happens, okay? It was a hot summer night in the Spring Hill Apartments in College Station, Texas. When blah, 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 like I could just always hear the snapped episode in my head. He come to the door and he like jiggled a handle. I don't know why he didn't open the door because it wasn't locked. We didn't even have a lock on it yet. But he like, man, take your ass to work. Take your ass to work. I got my daughter. You gonna get your ass fired. Then I don't know what you gonna do. But you ain't care about me getting fired when you made me late every day. So I'm like, yeah, let me take myself to work. So let me get ready. Let me wipe my face because I've been crying for I don't even know how long. Because work don't care about your personal shit. They will fire you. They only expect you to show up and do the job that they hired you to do. Mind you, when I'm getting ready, he's still talking shit. I'm looking for the keys. Not getting the keys. Walk. So I'm walking out the door, y'all. I promise you, I was finna try to slam the hinges off that door. But I'm like, if I slam this door right now, it's only gonna spook my daughter. It ain't gonna spook him. My baby gonna be upset. So I'm like, you know what? I ain't even gonna do it. I didn't even close the door. That's how bad I wanted to slam it. Like, I didn't even close it. And I'm just walking away because I'm like, I don't even know, y'all. My head space, it just wasn't right. So I'm walking and my fake walkie-talkie fell. I'm walking. I'm about halfway to work at this point, right? And I get a phone call. I answer it. They're like, hello, this is so-and-so with Brazos Police Department. I'm like, hello? Who this for? This can't be for me. She was like, yeah, am I speaking to Miss whatever my last name is? We got a call about a domestic violence situation. And I'm like, hello? Like, again, I didn't know what to say. I was so shook. I just kept saying hello. Mind you, my heart is beating fast and I am in the middle of crying. She really caught me off guard. Because how did you get my number? She was like, yes, I'm here. Are you at Lovely Springs apartment complex and apartment number 2042? And I was like, no, I'm at work right now.
Okay, but we got a domestic disturbance call about you and your significant other. We were told that it was a man beating on his wife and child.
Huh? So somehow, I don't know, they figured the shit out. And I'm like, dang, that's how it sounds to the neighbors. Everything that we was doing, it sounded like this man was up in here just beating on me and my daughter. So she was like, yeah, your neighbors called in. They said it was a domestic disturbance and it sounds like loud crying and someone getting beat on. They was hearing loud bangs. And I was like, well, I'm at work right now. I don't know. I feel like you have the wrong apartment. I'm scared as fuck. I'm so scared because I think she had mentioned that she was with the police department again. So I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like, is he about to go to jail? I wouldn't want him to go to jail over this because I feel like I'm the one that started what happened. So should I go to jail? Like, y'all, I was having the dumbest thoughts. It's crazy. Because when you actually going through that kind of stuff, you don't feel like, oh, this is abuse or I'm getting abused. It's just like, to me, it was a part of our relationship at some point. And it's only like when you out of the situation and you start thinking back on it, it's like, dang, girl, that's not normal. And it's crazy because his brother was in a similar relationship with his baby mom, which I was friends with at the time. And I call her Dum Dum. They was in a similar type of relationship. But I always used to be like, well, it's not as bad as Devontae and Dum Dum. We're not as bad as them because people love to compare us like as two couples. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm like, we're not as bad as them, so we good. Like, as long as we're not as bad as them, don't compare me to them. I ain't nothing like them. Like, girl, y'all was equal. It wasn't equal. They were a little worse because he was a little worse. But girl, neck and neck, baby. Neck and neck. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, and they brothers. So you know. I ended up hanging up on the lady face from the police department because I'm scared as fuck. She ended up calling right back and I'm like, damn, what do I do? What do I do? I didn't answer. So she called back again. I'm like, damn, she's not going to stop calling. So at this point, I'm like so close to my job. I can see like the front door. I'm walking up on the front door and I answer and I'm like, hello? And she was like, ma'am, I need you to stay on the line. There's officers at your residence right now. We're trying to clear up the situation, da da da. And I'm like, well, I've been at work, so I'm not too sure what's going on. And I have real like splotchy signal over here. So my phone is going to keep dropping just in case I need to hang up on her right quick. So yeah, I'm basically lying to the police for him. So she's steady questioning me and I'm not a good liar. I'm stuttering. I just sound like I was lying. I feel like police ears are trained to catch lies like that. So she like, yeah, well, do you have a baby? Okay, is the baby male or female? Okay, no, I think we're at the right residence, ma'am. I'm not too sure what's going on. Is there anybody else? Is there any other woman in the house? And I'm like, I don't think you have the right apartment. No, ma'am, no. I don't think you have the right apartment. I think it's just a coincidence. You're at the wrong apartment. She said, well, we need to know the truth so we can apply the proper consequences. I don't know the exact terms that she used. You know, she used them police ass terms. I couldn't remember. But I was like, no, not consequences. Oh my God, they about to take him to jail. And I'm like, well, I'm at work right now. And if y'all are at the wrong apartment, please leave because he has my daughter with him. And I don't want anything to happen. I don't like this. Da, da, da. I'm just like freaking out. And she was like, well, ma'am, please stay on the line with me. I need to get this cleared up. This is serious. We take this very serious. They're probably thinking like, if this did happen, this is not a safe environment for the child and blah, blah, blah. I don't play like that. So yeah, I was just all over the place mentally. How hard I was freaking out. I'm like, y'all at the wrong apartment, please. Y'all at the wrong apartment. I'm crying at this point. And she was like, okay, well, just wait. I'm gonna call the officers back just to double check to make sure they're at the right place and blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna call you back and I need you to answer. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna answer. I'm like ensuring her that I'm gonna answer. She was like, okay, well, the number that I'm gonna call from is gonna call from 281 number and I need you to answer that phone call. I need you to answer. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna answer. Just please, y'all at the wrong apartment, please. I'm bawling. So I'm like, okay, I agree. We hang up. After we hung up, I put my phone on do not disturb. I know, very irresponsible because I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I do know that I need to clock in. I don't know what was wrong with me, Why was I trying to get the Lowe's so bad? You would think that Lowe's was paying me $67 an hour. Please. It was $9, babe. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. So I go in and I'm thinking like the manager's about to be in an uproar. HR was still there. I'm thinking she about to be on my head too. So I go ahead and clock in and I try to ease in. And like, you know, I just try to camouflage in. But it's crazy because Lowe's was very like strict and on you. You could barely pull your phone out because somebody was always hovering around. So they didn't say nothing to me about it that day, but they did end up saying something later on when I got injured on the job. And they was like, yeah, well, I can only give you 1 or 2 days because of how much you've been late and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I'm injured. I could sue y'all. Like, what? But that's another story. So I ended up just going over there and I started stalking my area. Like nothing happened, like I wasn't late. Like I said, you can't really have your phone out. So I wasn't really taking my phone out. And I'm like, damn, my phone been dry as hell. So I took my phone out of my pocket and I peeked at it. And the Brazos police department had called me back like 3 times. And I'm like, damn. She ain't leave no messages none. So I'm like, all right, it wasn't that serious. Like, I don't know, y'all, childish. Because I used to tend to like run from my problems and avoid them. And if I avoided them long enough, I'm like, it'll just go away and I'll have no consequences for it. That was literally my thought process with like big problems that I could not handle. And I felt like this was one of them, right? Nah, fast forward again to like my first 15-minute break. I'll go to the restroom and I'm looking at my phone. Y'all tell me why Dre sent me like 15 text messages going in on me. And I'm like, he really walking me like a dog verbally after I saved his ass from getting tossed in prison. It probably wasn't even the first message. It was the main message I remember. And it was literally like, ha ha ha, you police ass bitch, you called the police on me. Get the fuck out of my life. And I'm just reading it like, what? Because I didn't expect him to think that I was the one that called the police. Naturally, if the police arrived, why wouldn't they be like, yeah, one of your neighbors called in a dispute? Like, why did he think that I called the police on him? Why are we LOL and ha ha ha? And I have no idea. But no, actually, I was laughing at this message because at this point, I'm unhinged mentally. Like, this is too much for I've never gone through anything like this. So yeah, I felt like the Joker. Like, I was just laughing I felt like a maniac. So I'm like, I've never even called the police. Why would I lie to the police and tell them that they had the wrong residence if I called them on you? You're an idiot. When we're arguing and stuff and he don't text back fast enough or I feel like he's not gonna respond, I just start calling because yeah, you're gonna answer this phone and we're gonna have this talk. He not answering. So I'm responding to every single message that he was texting me, cussing me out while I was at work working. You left the door open so the police could just walk right in. I know you called them. They came in and they seen my grow room. They seen my grow tent and all the shit that I had up in there. So now I know they're going to be watching me real hard. And Dada, you know what the fuck you was doing? And I'm like, bruh. I'm like, dang, we put so much time into, like, he had me brainwashed. I'm thinking it's my dream too. Me and school got the same dream. I'm like, dang, we put so much time into that tent. Like, what we gonna do if they take it all? Like, I told you to get a lock for that door. So I'm like, I told your dumb ass to get a lock for that fucking door, idiot. Like, why was it even open? Stupid, it's supposed to be closed at all times, dumbass. Like, I'm just going in on him like it was my room. So, mind you, and then let's not skate past the fact that he wasting a whole second bedroom for some bull. Mind you, he's not texting back. I'm responding to the other message that he sent like maybe an hour ago. The last thing I said to him was like, I fucking hate you. And I'm going to find a way to get the fuck away from you. And I meant that like with my soul. Fast forward to the end of my shift, right? I remembered that I didn't have no ride home. And then in the midst of everything happening, because we argued before I left. So all I had time to do was grab my phone. I was so pissed off. I didn't even think to grab nothing else. I didn't have no money. And I didn't have an Uber account. Because something happened when I was driving Uber. Dang. Should I save that for another story time? I think I will. But yeah, basically, I was locked out of my Uber account. And then I didn't even have a credit card to put on file. Or a debit card to put on file if I would have made another one. I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't have. Because didn't Uber need your ID or something back then? It was some reason why I couldn't make another Uber account, right? So I'm like, I don't have a fucking ride. What am I going to do? And around this time where I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to do and work up the courage to walk home. Mind you, it's 12 a.m. at this point. My manager come around and he like, yeah, do you want to get off at 1? Do you want to stay till 1 o'clock? So I'm like, yeah, who else get off at 1? Does Matthew get off at 1 too? And he was like, nah, Matthew called in today. Because me and Matthew was cool. And I'm like, dang, if nothing else, I could have asked Matthew, but he don't even work today. So I'm trying to figure out, because mind you, I had nobody. He was it. So I'm like, dang, I don't got nobody to call down here. Can't even call an Uber. What am I going to do? So I'm like, okay, I got till 1 o'clock to figure it out. So many emotions flowed through my head. 1 o'clock came up so quick, and I'm like, damn, I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Still don't know. I'm dragging my feet to get out the store, because mind you, in my in-between shift, after everybody from the 6 to 12 or 7 to 1 shift leave, they lock up the store. Even though people still in there working overnight, like, everybody's in the back of the store. Nobody's up front. Nobody's stocking nothing up front. When I leave, and Matthew and a few other people that work the same shift as me, they put the alarm on and lock the doors, all doors. Like, nobody goes outside until the store actually opens in the morning, and they cut the lights off in the parking lot and everything. So I'm out there, I'm dragging my ass, I'm trying to drag it. I only ended up dragging it until 1:10. I get out there, they're like, all right, have a good night, whatever. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just walk home, because honestly, driving to work is real quick, but that walk be long as hell. So I'm like, whatever, I just beat footed, I'll be cool. So y'all, I'm walking. Mind you, it's dark as hell in this area. Like, everything is closed in this little area. And it's like a slope you gotta walk up. So I'm walking up the slope, and I'm paranoid as hell, looking over my shoulder. Bitch, all of a sudden, when I get comfortable, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I don't watch one too many Snap, Law & Order SUV, first 48 episodes. And ain't shit finna happen. All of a sudden, when I get comfortable, I start hearing the engine of a car. So I'm looking around for headlights. I don't see no motherfucking headlights. I finally spot the car. It's a black, I mean, not a black, it's a red truck with the headlights off. Oh, okay. All right, this is how I'm about to go out. Okay, I'm not a runner. They're gonna catch me. I am not a runner. My ankles is not built for this. So I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm tweaking. I'm like, okay, I'm about to just act like I'm on my phone or something so they could leave me alone. So I start playing the video real loud, and I start talking like, yeah. Then when I stop talking, I just unpause the video, like a YouTube video of somebody talking, so it sounds like I'm talking to somebody. So I'm doing that. And I'm walking, and they like creeping up behind me with their car. And do you know how slow you got to be going in your car to keep up with somebody that's walking like 2 miles an hour? That's it. Like, it's intentional what you're doing. So when they roll up to me, it's 2 Hispanic men. One got their arm out the window, and they start speaking Spanish to me. So I'm like, I don't understand. I know I'm okay. I'm good. So they just standing, and I'm like, Uber, waiting for my Uber. So I'm walking fast. I'm keeping walking. So they just still talking to me and like pacing beside me. So I ended up turning around. I'm like, store, I'm going back to work. I'm going, leave, please. I'm good. I don't need nothing. So when I turn around, they keep driving straight. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not trying to look back too much. But when I do glance back, I see them doing a 3-point turn. Because mind you, this is like a one-way. So they was going the wrong way. So now they going the wrong way, hitting the 3-point turn to come back in my direction to the store where I'm walking towards. So I'm like, oh, hell no. They hit that 3-point turn, and bitch, I hit that pavement, okay? I started running, ankles buckling and all. My ankles ain't built for that shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to cross over. I feel like you had to cross the street twice to get to like the Walmart area, because there was a Walmart over there, and then there was a Walmart gas station. And then so when I finally make it to like the grass part, not the full parking lot, I finally made it to the grass part. I checked my phone, bitch, the phone is dead. I'm just running for my life, not even looking behind me. I don't know what was going on, but I'm running for my life. Stopped, checked my phone real quick, kept running. So I'm like, should I go to the Walmart? Should I go to the gas station? And the gas station was closer. So I'm like, bitch, I'm finna beat it to this gas station. I did not know what to do. Please don't get up in these comments telling me you shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because you don't never know what you're finna do in a fight or flight situation. I took flight, baby. I wasn't finna fight 2 niggas. So please don't shoulda, coulda, woulda. I woulda karate chopped them with my samurai sword and got down and prayed to the Lord. Please don't do it, because y'all, not all of y'all, but some of y'all be tweaking like, girl, no, you wouldn't have. You know, sir, you would have not. So I get over there, and I'm just like checking my surroundings. Like, I probably looked so crazy. A few people was looking at me crazy. People was asking me if I was okay. I'm out of breath, hands on my knees, breathing hard. I'm like, this is not my day. somebody is praying hard for shit not to go my way, because this was like really literally one of the worst days of my life. So I'm looking around and I see the red truck been a Kona, like from a distance, now that I'm in the Walmart parking lot. So I'm like, nah, angels. I had angels protecting me, because bitch, that could have went so left. And I know I ain't faster than no truck or no man. They could have easily hopped out and snatched me. I'm only 5'1". So I go up in the gas station and I asked the attendant to use the in-store charger, and I had to stay there until my phone got a little bit of juice, because they had to keep my phone behind the counter. So she just asking me if I was okay, and I'm like, no, my phone died, I don't have a ride home. And I'm just like not trauma dumping, but I'm just like dumping, because I felt like I ain't had nobody to talk to. And she asked shit. So she was like, oh, okay, well, do you need me to call somebody for you? And da-da-da. I'm like, no, I just need my phone to charge. I don't know nobody's number by heart except for my aunt. And it's like, at this point, it's about like probably 1:45 in the morning. I'm not gonna wake her up. She got to get up at 4 a.m. I'm not gonna keep waking her up, because I woke her up before in the middle of the night, because Dre left me stranded before at Lowe's. So yeah, I'm like, bro, I walked her. I cannot walk back. It's extra creepy. It's about to be 2 a.m. Ain't no way. So I ended up calling somebody. They didn't answer. Then I ended up calling the girl, Carly, the girl who gave me fleas. And luckily, we had gotten back cool, because we was not cool after that little debacle. But luckily, I didn't put my hands on her. So we was cool enough for me to call her. And she was like, and y'all, I just started breaking down. She was like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you all right? Do you want me to call the police for you? What does the truck look like? Did you get the license plate? And I'm like, no, please, can you come get me and take me home? She was like, girl, yes. Oh my God, just wait. Just give me like 10 minutes and blah, blah, blah. So Carly ended up, she a real one for coming to get me and taking me home. So when she got there, we was talking about it, but I didn't tell her the stuff that happened with Dre, because she was like, what happened to y'all car? Did it break down? What's wrong with it? And I'm like, nah, it's like, it's a lot going on. Like, it really don't, I made up some lies talking about it don't move or whatever, something wrong with it. Got to get the engine checked, because Carly is fake. But remember, go back to that video of when she gave me fleas. She admitted that she's proudly fake. She said all bitches from Katy, Texas is fake. So she one of them. So I'm like not about to tell her my business for real. I know better. And then on the other hand, she's also one of them people that do stuff like this for you to feel like a savior. But then she go back and talk shit about you to like one of her friends or something, because I've been on like the reverse end of it. Like she went to go save somebody else and then she was talking down on them to me. And I'm like, well, why did you do it then? Like, why this? Why that? Girl, because I don't know. F them. Da, da, da. Like it was insane. So I'm like, I know I'm about to be on the other end of that, but I'm still grateful for the ride and everything like that. I just know how to with her. I just know how to move with her. So yeah, we pulled up to my apartment. She let me out and then she dip off immediately. I'm like, damn, can I get in the house, please? I'm scared. Because I'm thinking like, what if the dudes followed us here? They pulled up and they waited for her to drive off so they could come snatch me still. So I'm knocking on the door and Dre is just not answering. He ain't not coming to the door. And I felt like I was knocking for like 10 minutes. I wouldn't know though because my phone died again. So, when I tell you, when I saw 2%, I'm like, give me my phone, please. Please, I gotta call somebody. Girl, I only had 1.5%. So I'm knocking and knocking and knocking. Can't even call him. And finally, I start banging on the door. I did not give a fuck. And I know, like, the domestic disturbance and all that, I was real hesitant about banging on the door, but I was just ready to lay down. I had a long-ass day. So he finally come to the door, and I wanted to tell him everything that had just happened so bad with this car and everything. But I'm like, I remembered everything that happened because the apartment was still a mess. I'm like, oh yeah, we not cool. Damn. Because honestly, when we was cool, that was my best friend. We talked about everything. Like when we cool, we good, we perfect. And I wish that if we was just cool without the extra shit, we would be perfect for each other. But life don't work like that. So yeah, I feel like this video is a lot more stuff happened after, but I feel like this video is already too long and I'm really trying to get it up for Halloween, for tomorrow. So I need to start editing now, so I'm gonna just leave it here. But you already know the vibes. Like the video, leave a chicken in the comments, and make sure you are subscribed for when your girl posts. All right? Okay. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye. I keep biting my jaw. That shit hurt. It hurt so bad. All right, bye. My whole thought process at this time was like, let me do everything he say so I can avoid arguments and altercations. And I was literally sacrificing my happiness. And that's ultimately why I ended it, because I'm like, you're not about to keep disrespecting me in front of my daughter, like as she started getting older, because then she's gonna grow up and think that this is how the dynamic of a relationship should be. Like, it's okay for a man to call me this and call me that. I see my daddy do it to my mama. Like, no, she gonna do better. She gonna do better than me, because I ain't know better. She gonna know better. It's Halloween, bitch. No, I can't say that in the beginning. Y'all, I never finished my Halloween background, but it's okay. I mean, you know, I tried. All right, so let's get into the story time. Hi, little mommy. Of the tree mans. Yeah. No, I said Jewel. Yeah, that's what I said. It's your bedtime, Scoop. You gonna take my walkie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it in a few when I call the police. I'm gonna have to call the police. It's not real, baby. Bye, Nonai. You should be asleep. Yeah, tomorrow's Halloween. Did you not know that? Why did you get? I know, babe. You saw me too late. I'm sorry.
Oh, dang it. We could have did 2 fun things in one day.
Y'all, go back and look at that, because I be doing this thing where I be like mapping what my baby gonna say. How do I even know what she gonna say? But I kind of caught it on camera a little bit, and I be feeling her emotions, like my emotions be matching hers. And I'm like, why do I do that? Why do my body do that? That's why I love to keep her happy, because I be feeling her emotions too, like real hard. It's crazy. What is that called? What is that? Girl, we do a lot of fun things in one day, okay? You just gonna have to miss this one.
Can we do?
But guess what? We're gonna do a lot of fun things,
Can
okay?
we do like
I got you. You know I got you. Can we do what?
Can we do 10?
10 fun things?
10.
You're trying to put me in an early grade.
10.
Can you not do that?
10.
I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna send it to your daddy. Yeah.
Guys, my dad's so tough and strict.
Yeah.
He
Definitely strict. Ma, you shaking the camera. Okay. Go sit down for me, boo. Because you only got until I'm done, baby. And then when I'm done, you're going to have to go to sleep. Because I'm going to start editing. And you got to get up early for school. Yes, baby? Is the toilet off? No, it's fine. Why? Yeah. Girl, they cut our water off here so much to the point where my baby got to ask me if she can flush the toilet. That's insane. Like, I'm really tired of this place.